What are NPN and PNP transistor configurations? Imagine controlling a large flood of water with just a small tap. That's what transistors do in electronic circuits. Today, we're exploring two main types of bipolar junction transistors. First, let's look at the NPN transistor. It's made of 3 layers, a P-type layer in the middle called the base, sandwiched between two N-type layers called the emitter and collector. The majority charge carriers here are electrons. When you apply a small positive voltage to the base compared to the emitter, it turns the transistor on. Electrons flow from the emitter through the base and into the collector. Most electrons pass through the thin base and are attracted to the collector, which is connected to a higher voltage. This flow of electrons creates a larger current from the collector to the emitter, controlled by the small current at the base. Now, the PNP transistor is quite the opposite. It has an N-type base layer between two P-type layers called the emitter and collector. The main charge carriers are holes, which are basically the absence of electrons. When you apply a small negative voltage to the base relative to the emitter, it turns the transistor on. Holes flow from the emitter through the base and into the collector. The current flows from the emitter to the collector, but in the opposite direction compared to the NPN. The base in a PNP transistor needs to be at a lower potential than the emitter to activate it. The symbols for these transistors are easy to recognize. The arrow on the emitter points outward for NPN transistors, indicating the direction of conventional current flow. For PNP transistors, the arrow points inward, showing current flows into the emitter. To turn on an NPN transistor, the base must be at a higher potential than the emitter. For a PNP, the base needs to be at a lower potential than the emitter. In practical circuits, NPN transistors are often used for switching and amplification because electrons move faster and make the device quicker. They are connected with the load between the positive voltage supply and the collector. PNP transistors are used when the load is connected between the collector and ground. They are called sourcing transistors because they supply current to the load. In summary, NPN transistors have a P-type base between two N-types, with electrons as the main charge carriers. They turn on when the base is positive relative to the emitter. PNP transistors have an N-type base between two P-types, with holes as the charge carriers, turning on when the base is negative relative to the emitter. Both types are essential in electronics for controlling larger currents with small signals, especially in analog circuits and embedded systems. Understanding how they work helps in designing reliable and efficient electronic devices.